My name is Cleo Brown, and I am the Program Manager for the RCI Affiliate Access Program. Joining me is Amy Ochoa, the Director of Marketing, and Wahid Razaki, the Global Sales Executive at LeisureLink. LeisureLink is one of our valued affiliate access partners, offering special rates and services exclusively for RCI affiliates. If you need additional information about the Affiliate Access Program, contact your account executive for details. I'll be the moderator today as we cover the topic, the top 6 revenue management strategies for timeshares. This session should last about 20 minutes with a 10-minute question and answer session at the end. Please place any questions you have in the questions box on the right-hand side of your screen, and we'll address them at the end. And at that time, everyone's lines will be unmuted and you'll be able to ask your questions directly as well. A recorded version of this webinar will be forwarded to you after the call. Wahid will be our presenter today and will be sending you his contact information so that you may reach out to him with any additional questions you want answered one-on-one. So Wahid, let's go ahead and begin.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you being here. And as Cleo said, I'm going to go through this slide presentation, and any questions you have, please feel free to make sure you type it in, and we'll go over it at the end. What we're here to discuss today are taking a look at top 6 revenue management strategies for specifically timeshare resorts, and see how they can help you grow incremental revenue, your ADR, and your bookings over time. So, one of the challenges that we, you folks and we face on any given day, regardless of how busy you are, the seasonality, or how limited your resources are, most of the folks that we report to in the end want to know what we're doing in order to make more money. The most logical place to go to grow your revenue is obviously distribution, global distribution, but taking advantage of global distribution is only the first step. We must make sure that you maximize your listing on these distribution channels and make sure that you're doing the right things and practicing the right strategies in order to make sure that revenue does grow. But in the end of the day, no matter what's going on in your day-to-day, it's about making more money. Once you get on these global distribution channels, these OTAs across the world, you'll realize that there are many, many moving pieces. Taking advantage of being on a profile, if you're just on the last page of search results, really doesn't do much for you. But if you take advantage of all the different moving pieces and make sure that you're practicing the right things, you're tracking your competition, your inventory's pooled, you've got quality content and images, this all helps your OTA rankings and maximizes return on these OTAs. As you can see, revenue management is just simply one part of the puzzle when it comes to being listed on the OTA channels. Regardless of what's going on, it's only one piece of the puzzle, and you may not have time to accommodate the resource and the time that needs to be put into revenue management in order to make sure that you get the right return on investment. There are many different strategies you can employ, from simple ones to very, very complex strategies. We'll start off by taking a look at a strategy we call set and forget. The set and forget strategy is simply something you take some time on, looking at your entire calendar year's worth of rates, taking into account your seasonality, your peaks and valleys when it comes to historical occupancies, as well as taking a look at your busy holiday seasons. Through this historical figures, you can create rates that fluctuate based on demand for that period of time, and you can set your rates for an entire calendar year and then not worry about them for the rest of the year. This basic strategy can help increase your revenue by taking advantage of those peak seasons, but there are even more savvier strategies that can further help grow your ADR and your overall revenue. One of the more advanced strategies is making sure that you are on the right third-party distribution channels. When you dive into the distribution world, you might as well take advantage of all the channels that can give you the most exposure, bringing you access to more clients that you would not have access to regularly. So if you're going to dabble in the distribution world, we might as well go ahead and take advantage of the big players in the market, because the name of the game is exposure and making sure that you're getting in front of the most set of eyes possible. A challenge that we currently face with timeshare resorts is a minimum length of stay and the pricing that goes with it. Obviously, you have some parameters that you need to deal with when it comes to minimum length of stays at timeshare resorts due to other specifications of owners, weeks sold, etc. But there are things you can do with minimum length of stay that can help you grow during those times of need. There are peaks and valleys, and there are those times where occupancies dip, where there's not as much demand in the market. Those are the times where you can employ different minimum lengths of stays and create different pricing strategies for each different minimum length of stay. You can have a certain price per night for a 3-night stay and even more discounted price for a 5-night and something even more favorable for a 7-night stay. Employing these types of strategies, especially during need periods, can definitely help grow your booking conversion. It can also increase number of bookings as well as increase overall revenue, getting people enticed to stay longer and longer. As we move further down the revenue management tree, it gets a bit more complex. We're looking at now demand-based pricing. So this is something where a little bit different from set it and forget, where you're actually reacting to the market as things happen. So as demand increases or decreases through any period of the year, you're going to be reacting to setting your prices based on that demand. As the demand grows and the supply decreases in the market, we're going to look at revenue strategies that are going to help increase your daily rate, making sure that you're maximizing the number of dollars you're getting per night, and vice versa. There are periods of time where the valleys get deeper than usual and demand drops off and supply increases in the market. We must have a plan in place in order to adjust rates to make sure that we're still capturing the number of bookings we need to. We still are keeping conversions at a rate that is successful, so we are creating revenue flow even during the slowest periods of time. This demand-based pricing obviously takes a little bit more strategy. It requires a little bit more data, a little bit more planning, and a plan of attack on a monthly, quarterly, or weekly basis, depending on your market. But this definitely goes along the same idea as set it and forget, but it will definitely increase revenue even more so because of your reactions to the market. Now, in order to be successful in any market, regardless of the rate strategy you're utilizing, it is vital that you know what market values are for your units, what your competitors are doing in the market. In order for you to have a good grasp of what the competitors are doing and what prices are going for in your specific market, you're going to have to shop your competitors. I know a lot of folks that employ somebody weekly to just come in and shop the different OTAs and get a good idea of what prices are that week. There are people who are paying subscriptions to specific companies to do shopping for them. We have also come up with a rate shopping tool that's actually built into the platform, but the idea is to give you access to data in the market from all your competitors within your destination, and not only know what the rates are for that week, but for extended travel periods of time. So this way you are able to create revenue strategies for next month, the month after that, based on what your competitors are charging, having a good idea of what your type of units are pricing in the market. It is a huge advantage to know what 1-bedrooms and 2-bedrooms and studios and standard rooms are pricing in the market in any given period of time, so that you can take advantage, maximizing the revenue you can get per night on each of your units. This obviously, rate shopping can be, an extensive job. It could take numerous hours in order to complete, but an automated system obviously gives you a great advantage. Next, we're going to talk about promotions. So once you're on these major global distribution channels, there's many marketing opportunities available for you to maximize your placement on these channels, as well as increasing conversion and creating more bookings. Now, if you're going to be on these channels, you're going to be on 10, 15 or so channels, and there's so many marketing opportunities, it can kind of get lost in the mix of what to participate when. It's key for LeisureLink to partner with you during this effort, because we're going to help you provide you with the specific marketing tactics that are going to help your property grow revenue. We're going to try to take advantage of seasonal marketing efforts. We're going to try to take advantage of quarterly efforts. But the idea is to always be one step ahead of the game, knowing what your occupancy is next month and what you're going to need to do as far as promotions in order to increase that occupancy. Knowing when your peak seasons are coming so you can still create promotions but not sacrifice rate doing those promotions during those peak seasons. The key is to make sure to take advantage of the different marketing opportunities available, and as such you're going to help yourself increase the number of bookings as well as increase your placement on these OTA channels across the world. It's very vital for them to see you taking advantage of discounts and specials and offer specials to the consumers online, and by doing so you're going to have better and better placement when the search results come about. What we're going to do now is going to take a quick look at some of the automated tools that we've built into the LeisureLink platform that can actually help you with some of these revenue strategies we talked about and help automate some of these tasks that you need to do on a daily basis. We've built in a tool. This is a snapshot that's going to show you how our shopping rate tool works. You're actually going to be able to go into the platform. You'll have your destination set, and you're going to be able to choose a whole list of competitors that will be listed for you A to Z. Any property that is available on any of the major OTA channels such as Expedia or Booking.com in your destination will be available for you to select. You can select numerous competitors. The more the better. You're going to get a better mix and better data. As you select them, the key to the platform is that it will not just shop the best available rate, but as you can see, the next step is it will ask you to select the different units at these specific properties that you want to go ahead and shop. This will give you an advantage because it's really creating a situation of matching apples to apples. If you are shopping for competitors for your standard room, you can definitely come in here and just choose these specific hotel rooms. If you're choosing, looking for competitors for your suites or your studios, etc., you're going to be able to choose competitors by the unit type, not just shop their best available rate. Creating an environment where you're matching up apples to apples and getting a better idea of what your units are valued in the market. Once this data is gathered, this data is stored for you forever in time in your account. You will be able to view the data on your calendar view. So right next to your rates and your special rates, you're going to see comp set rate, which will be the average rate of your competitors. You can also run this data on graphs. You can look at it on an Excel sheet. You can look at it on a PDF. But you have various ways of viewing the data, running reports on it. It's all stored historically, which is also an advantage as you approach the end of the year. You can always run the reports for the entire past year and see what folks were charging month by month. As you get set to set your rates for the following year, you'll have a good idea of what increases your competitors are taking advantage of from year to year. The competitor daily rates reports is an item that's readily used by our utilizing our platform. As you can see on the left, you will get a whole snapshot of what your rates are for each of your unit types. Below that will be listed your competitors' rates, and it'll give you a marker as far as where you are compared to your competitors. As you can see, this particular property is pricing substantially higher than its competitors. The report also will break down each competitor for you by day of the week. You will know what each competitor is charging for each of the unit types each day of the week. As the months progress, you'll know every day of the week and the pricing for each unit type. Tied into the rate shopping tool, we talked about complex revenue strategies. We've actually built in a revenue management tool within the platform that's going to tie in your competitors' price shopping. It's going to take a look at your occupancies, and here you can create revenue strategies. This basically looks at your availability in days before arrival. For example, on the top left, if you have one unit left available for this week, it's telling the system to set your price at 30% above the competitors. Vice versa, if you're down to 9 units left or more for this week, you're going to be setting your prices lower than the competitors. You can actually come into these cells and customize each cell to your liking. Obviously, we have an account manager that will assist you in consulting with strategies that you can utilize, but you can come here, create custom strategies, whether you're going into your peak season, into a slower season, into a holiday period. You can customize these strategies to your liking and then either turn them on or off. But this will give you the capability of employing dynamic pricing on the platforms, on the different OTA channels, not only helping you grow your revenue on a nightly basis, but also helping you get better and better placement on these OTA channels. At this time, I'd like to step back, take a look at some of the questions you guys have. Any questions, anything that didn't make sense, I'm open to hearing about them and hopefully helping answer them.
Okay, so one of the questions, this is Amy, one of the questions that I've seen so far is somebody was asking, can you list the specific set and forget strategies? Like list out 4 or 5 of those easy ones that everyone should be doing.
Sure. You know, for every property, for every resort and hotel, that set and forget strategy could differ a little bit, but most will look at depending on their peaks and valleys. So you'll have resorts that, regardless of the time of year, do really, really well on weekends and taper off from Monday through Thursday, for example. So they will create a strategy of a more favorable, more attractive, lower pricing from a Sunday through a Thursday or Sunday through a Wednesday, and take advantage of those heavy weekend traffic, creating higher pricing for Fridays and Saturdays, etc., so they can maximize the number of dollars they get for those high occupancy nights. Vice versa, there's resorts and hotels and destinations where they thrive on the midweek business travel that comes in, or conferences, etc. So they will set and forget a strategy that's going to take advantage of the higher occupancies midweek as opposed to the lower occupancies on the weekends. And they may even employ permanent specials for, you know, each weekend or weekday, whenever that need period is. There's other ones. The advantage is during seasons where, you know, you have huge peak seasons. So we have resorts in the Northeast that, you know, really taper off during the winter or may even be closed, but are much busier in the high seasons of summer, June, July, August. So they will employ a set and forget strategy where their rates increase anywhere from 20 to 30% during those peak months, and then taper back off to their standard lead-in price for the months that they are closed or very slow. So as you can see, it basically matters. It depends on your historical performance. You take a look at your peaks and valleys, and if you don't have the time or the resources to put into creating you know, very complex rate strategies, take a look at your past, see where your peaks and valleys were during those high occupancy months. Take advantage of the high occupancy, set higher rates. You're going to incrementally lower your rates during those slower periods of times. And then with the set and forget, one of the key elements is to always utilize promotions to kind of fill in the gaps where they come about.
Perfect. Thanks, Wahid. So we don't have any additional questions, so I just want to thank everybody for attending today and let everyone know you'll be receiving a recording of this session as well as Wahid's contact information within a few hours, so that you'll be able to reach out to Wahid for a demo on the LeisureLink product or to ask him any additional one-on-one questions. All right. Thanks again, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, guys.